OSATURDAY. That's right, folks. It is Saturday night, and that means it's podcast night. I'm Andrew Rhodes, and welcome to the absolutely completely random podcast for Saturday, February 17th, 2018. Holy crap, has it been one heck of a week. But I'll get into that in a moment. What am I talking about this week? What news do I have to bring to the world? What information do I have to blow your minds with? Well, I'm going to be talking about The Incredibles 2 trailer. Yes, that's right, the sequel to the long-loved movie back from when I was in middle school. It is now coming out. A Batman Ninja anime film is dated for streaming and home video. Ugh! Not a fan of Batman. I have a Pokemon Go topic, happily a short one for once. Btoom manga to have 2 separate endings. Yes, that's right. This is going to be a really, I want to say, neat idea. The new voice actor for Bulma has been picked, and boy, I have got to talk about this. The live-action Alita movie, well, if you're looking forward to seeing it, bad news, I'm afraid, but I'll explain why. Yeah, I know, I'm sort of like the news when I do that, huh? And I'm also going to be talking about Kung Fury. Yes, that's right. The 2015 short film is going to become a full-length feature film. Whew. Don't get me wrong, it's a good movie, but I'll explain. All that and more this week on the absolutely completely random podcast. But before we get into that, before we get into all the fun stuff, you know the drill. If you're into trading cards, oddities, weird stuff, knickknacks, what have you, something odd to put on a shelf, something to put on a coffee table, something to just have in a room for when you have a party and you want to have some type of a conversation starter to have people look at it and go, what in the hell is it? Come check out my eBay page. ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. I have a tremendous amount of weird stuff, weird oddities, mostly trading cards and other stuff, but still, stuff that's cool. At least I think it was, and other people thought it was at some point in time. Other people still do, for all I know. I have a lot of weird things, a lot of weird oddities, and just a lot of stuff in general. I am working on updating it, and I constantly do add some new stuff to it all the time, including movies and DVDs. So, you can check that out. I might have something that you're really looking for, and I might have something that somebody else you know might be looking for. You never know. So come check out my eBay page. It's ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. You can also follow me on Twitter at OtakuRhodes and on Facebook and on Facebook at the Web Designer 18 Facebook page. So how's my week been? Well, actually quite enjoyable, I have to say. I did manage to finish up some research for the requested video. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it due to the information that I had. I wasn't able to discern whether or not what the person who requested the video wanted to be was 100% truthful or not. And upon really looking at the data going, I'm going to have to really dig into this. I'm going to have to really sit down and compare stuff. I looked at it and it's like, this is going to be too long. And I explained it to them. They were very happy and fine about it and just requested a different video. And I followed through with that. So I did that this week. Celebrated Valentine's Day. Yes, I know. How do you celebrate Valentine's Day if you don't have a girlfriend, you don't date? How do you celebrate Valentine's Day? Simple. I do nothing. Like I always do. I went to work, I came home, I played some Contest of Champions, I played some Puzzles and Dragons, I checked on my little Digimon friends and Digimon links, I watched some YouTube videos, and I took a nap in the afternoon. My mom baked me some cookies. That was my Valentine's gift. I got a thing of cookies from my mom. I just have to remember to get her something on March 14th, because I kind of like their whole reverse Valentine's Day thing. Or White Day as it's known in Japan. Kind of like that. So I just had to remember to do that. But other than that, it's been an interesting week. I finished up watching Fillmore, except for one episode that I do remember very well. I don't like it, so that's why I don't want to rewatch it. Again, it's the very last episode, and it sort of it seems like a kiss-off episode to me. Was watching some Reboot. Was watching that. Was watching some Mega Ranger this week on the Shout Factory TV channel on the Roku. So there was that. And I've just been pretty much surfing the internet. And so it's been a productive week, I want to say. A very productive week. Not just for me, but for a lot of people, it's been a very productive week. My thoughts do go out to the people in Florida for what happened. For those of you that know, I don't want to go into it here. Mostly because I don't want to come off of it with the jawbone of an ass. But my thoughts are, with you. But other than that, the week's been... It's been good. It's been a good week. I can safely say it's been a good week. So, let's jump into the podcast. Let's get rolling. I don't want to have the opening be as long as last week. My mom gave me hell for that. I had it perfectly timed, too, when I said... She's going to tell me, okay, come on, let's get on with it, let's go. And I was right. She came right out and told me, yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing, and then you said it. So, let's start it off right this week. Let's not make it as long as last week, and let's just jump right into the podcast, and let's get on with it, because I got a lot to talk about this week. Okay, so, everybody knows that The Incredibles is getting a sequel. This is now officially big news, folks. And I finally got a chance to actually see the trailer. Not that teaser trailer with Jack walking out and I beaming the Incredibles logo and separating the eye into two, eyes and then ending on the eye on the dot. I've seen something now better than that. I saw an actual trailer for this. And this is one that apparently was shown during the Olympics on one of the commercial broadcasts. I have to admit, I like it. I like it a lot. It's actually an interesting concept. Whereas in the first movie, you had Mr. Incredible who wanted to go back into the superheroing gig. He wanted to get back in there and fight the crime. He wanted to be the hero. He wanted to be the big man. I'm the one that can lift I'm the one that can lift the building. I'm the one that can do this. And with this new trailer, it shows that this movie is going to be the complete 180 of what the first one was. And it's sort of in a good way. Instead, this time, Mr. Incredible has to be the stay-at-home dad, while Mrs. Incredible, a.k.a. Elastigirl, goes out to fight the crime. Now, for those of you that don't know who the Incredibles are, it's Bob, Helen, Dash, and Violet Parr, as well as Jack the baby. And the whole backstory for the Incredibles was superheroes had this they could go around, they could do no wrong. The superheroes were looked upon as protectors, as saviors, as people that if there's a problem, who you going to call? You're going to call the superheroes. Mr. Incredible attempts to save a few dozen people on his wedding day, I have to add. He stops a train after he's dropped on the tracks by Bon Voyage, and a bomb blows off the tracks. He attempts to stop a train so that it won't crash and kill people. He stops a person jumping off a very tall skyscraper from killing themselves, and Bon Voyage escapes after interference from Incrediboy, aka Syndrome. All of this was brought to our attention, and the people, it's just, the backlash was huge. One of the scenes from the original one was Mr. Incredible getting yelled at by the person he saved who was trying to kill themselves. He's yelling at him, he goes, "You didn't save my life, you ruined my death. That's what you did." That's a horrible thing to say to a superhero, first off. I mean, the superhero is literally risking their life to save yours, you ungrateful little bastard. And that's what you have to say to them. If they saved you, that means, hey, there's a point for you being here. Unfortunately, though, this caused massive lawsuits to happen. The government ended up getting screwed by all the payouts and said, that's it, the supers got to disappear. They have to go. One of the lines was that their secret identity needs to become their only identity. They either need to join us or go away. So they unfortunately had to all fade out of the superhero limelight. You had Elastigirl, Frozone, Mr. Incredible, Gazer Beam, just to name a few from the original movie. If you ever get the DVD of it, or you ever have a chance to see the DVD, if you get the 2-disc one, the second disc has a tremendous amount of features, including a whole bunch of the superheroes that are mentioned, or at least, quick glazed over in the movie. Basically, it goes on, you see, like, years later, where, Mr. Incredible, aka Bob Parr, is now working at an insurance company. He's miserable. His wife's happy. His kids are... Okay, well, Jack's happy. Then again, Jack could be happy with a stuffed rabbit dancing on a TV screen. The kid's an infant. Dash is pissed off and taking his aggression out by pulling pranks on the teacher because he can't go out for sports. Violet's trying her best to just fit in. And everything's just falling apart around him. He thinks his life is meaningless, and him and Frozone, his old friend / old hero buddy, go out and on their bowling nights, sit in a car and listen to a police scanner to try to save people's lives, to just get an old nostalgic feeling of the good old days. And unfortunately, it doesn't pan out that well. They go into a burning building to try to save some people, end up almost killing them and themselves, have to escape the cops, and that's when it's like, okay, we're never doing this again. And Bob ends up losing his job at InsureCare and ends up getting a message from Syndrome's assistant, Mirage, to come to an island and try to stop a rampaging robot. Long story short, the robot was a test by the villain Syndrome to basically make it so that it could take down any super, and that he could take down the robot to become a superhero. And the robot constantly learns. It rebelled against its master, as all artificial intelligence will eventually do, and unfortunately, it was the end of Syndrome. So, there was that. The supers ended up coming back, saving the day, and people were starting to get a little more like for them. But, as you can see in this new trailer, it's mentioned by Helen Parr that superheroes are illegal. So apparently, I guess the love for, hey, they saved the city, maybe we do need the superheroes. What happens if the regular, police and the military can't stop like a supervillain or a giant monster? No, we don't need the super. So apparently the entire events of the first movie have just been completely destroyed. Wiped right out. Other than the superheroes do exist, they know where they can find them. And one guy wants to bring the superheroes back into the limelight in the new movie, and he wants Elastigirl. So that kind of upsets Mr. Incredible because he's kind of thinking, hey, cool, I can get back, I can start fighting crime again, and I have to now watch the kids. Okay. So a lot of the scenes are basically just him, he's reading to Jack and falling asleep, which is, anybody that's a parent, tell me this honestly. Could you actually sit and read a children's book knowing that your kid's going to fall asleep either in your arms or, laying on you, the kid's going to fall asleep? Can you honestly tell me that you are not dozing off reading the boring children's book? Those things are not designed for parents to have intellectual conversations about. Oh, do you know about the rabbit that went down into the hole? It went down into the hole because it was afraid. But what was it afraid of? Well, I don't know. The book didn't say. It just said it went down into the hole. And that was the whole, that's the whole thing. But anyway, so he's falling asleep reading the Jack. He's having a difficult time understanding the new math that Dash has to learn. And I kind of like that he goes, I don't understand that. I don't know how to do that. It's just math. Math is math. Why would they change math? Math is math. And I kind of like that. It's just like a kick at the whole, whatever that new math is that they're having to teach now in schools. I think that's like a shot at that, which is still kind of funny. But then you have all that going on. He's basically starting to lose it. He's getting like a beard. He's having a hard time controlling Jack. He's having a hard time relating to his kids. But he goes, I have to succeed so she can succeed so we can succeed. And it's kind of like, when I heard that, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, his mind's like deep frying itself. He's starting to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Because I think he wanted to be the one back in the spotlight, but he's not. So, there's that. But the trailer is just leaps and bounds ahead of what that original teaser was for the second Incredibles movie. Leaps and bounds ahead of it. I'm just worried, and what I'm scared about is I'm hoping that it's not writing a check that the movie can't cash. Because I'm going to be honest, I have a few movies that I'm looking forward to seeing this year. Ready Player One, which did not come out yet, comes out on March 29th. It comes out on a Thursday. I want to see that. I want to see the Avengers Infinity War movie, Wreck-It Ralph 2, and after seeing the trailer for it, I kind of want to see that, Battle Angel Alita. I kind of want to see that after seeing the trailer for it. It doesn't look that bad, actually, and that's scaring me to say that. The Incredibles 2 is on my list to see. I'm just worried that the trailer is writing a check that the movie can't cash. Sort of like how, back when I still had cable, I watched a show called Alphas. I saw the trailers for it, and I'm like, these trailers are really cool, these trailers are really interesting, and then I watched the show. And I was explaining it to a friend of mine, and the whole premise of the show is that these kids are basically, the weirdos, the freaks of, the normal people, were gifted with supernatural abilities. One kid can basically read electro waves or something. Another guy's super strong. So on and so forth. They, gather more and more people further and further in as it goes. And I don't really get the whole premise, other than they were trying to save the world or what have you. It doesn't really matter as far as I'm concerned. Because I watched the first episode of it and I hated it. I hated it with a passion. I couldn't stand it. And the more I'm watching it, it just could not get any better. And I told my friend the trailers wrote a check that those people could not cash. There's no way. The trailers made that show so good that the expectation when I saw it was so high that it did not live up to it. And that's what I'm afraid, at least I'm hoping, doesn't happen with the Incredibles movie. Because I liked the original Incredibles. That was a good movie. I remember playing the tie-in game. It was the very first game I ever owned for my GameCube. Was the Incredibles. I remember playing that. I remember having a blast playing that game. And it bugs me. And it bothers me because it worries me that if the trailer is, really cool and it's hyping the movie up that it's going to be something that's really cool, and I'm going to like it, is it going to fall flat on its face? And a lot of people are going, well, watch it just be something like, all he's going to be doing is, watching the kids. It's going to be like a 2-hour Super Nanny. Okay, so then it's a 2-hour Super Nanny movie. Who cares? It's CGI. It's The Incredibles. There's actually going to be comedy. If I'm going there expecting an action movie and I start laughing, I'll take it. In all honesty, I wouldn't mind that, especially with these characters. But if I'm going there and I'm expecting an action movie and I get more of a soap opera, that I'm going to be annoyed about, because I don't want a soap opera. And that's what's bothering me about that. I mean, there's a lot of trailers that are coming out, like with the Ready Player One trailer. I tweeted this out earlier this week. I put down, the more trailers I see for it, the more and more hyped up I'm getting for this movie. I'm just hoping that that the trailers aren't writing a check that the movie can't cash. And that's what's, worrying the crap out of me. So, the Incredibles 2 trailer dropped. If you get a chance, check it out. You can pull it up on YouTube. It is really sweet to see. I recommend checking it out if you get a chance to, because it's honestly pretty cool. So if you get a chance, check it out. It comes out this summer, so if you get a chance to go see it, I recommend it. At least see the first one first. Get the DVD of it. Watch it online, like Amazon or something, or Netflix, something or other. It's a good movie. It's not something that's garbage. It's actually a good movie. If you get a chance, check out the original first, then check out the sequel when it comes out. But either way, I mean, it's something to look forward to. Okay, Okay, so let's jump back into the Wayback Machine. I gotta build my own time machine here. I keep stealing the ones from other time travelers. I got a TARDIS that's barely functioning, and I got the Wayback Machine that I keep getting weird voicemails from a dog asking me where it is. But let's go back, way back to 2015. Yes, I know, 2015, that's not too far back. Well, believe it or not, back in 2015, a short movie came out, and it took the internet by storm. A friend of mine saw it, her husband saw it, and then she was telling me, yeah, he says you gotta check this out. He says it's cool. I checked it out, and I'll admit, it's interesting. And it's interesting in a unique way. It was called Kung Fury, and it was basically made sort of in the same style like you would have an 80s VHS tape, where you have tracking issues that, like skip part of the movie. So like you could have one scene, then you skip part of it because of like a tracking error, and then you're at another scene. And that's what made the movie pretty cool. For anybody that ever grew up with VCRs, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you younger viewers out there, the VCR was the predecessor to the DVD player. Well, I guess you could technically consider the Laserdisc the predecessor to the DVD player, but I kind of never owned a Laserdisc player, and I don't know anybody that ever did. At least nobody that I knew. So, for me, it went VCR, DVD. And I had a whole crap ton of VHS tapes growing up. I had like Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes. I had movies on VHS. We had blank VHS tapes. We were recording shows off of TV if we weren't going to be home, or a movie that we wanted to watch half a dozen times. So they kind of made this definitely, good for a 2015 movie, basically having an 80s feel to it. It wasn't bad, and it definitely was entertaining. But I found out this week it's getting a feature-length follow-up. It's like a full feature-length movie to follow it up. And here's what's interesting about it. Now, don't get me wrong, the original movie is only like 30 minutes long. That's fine. If you wanted to do a follow-up to this, I would have did like maybe an hour movie, or a 45-minute movie, or an hour and 15-minute movie, and plopped it out online. I wouldn't have done a full-length feature movie for something that you've basically gotten from point A to point B in 30 minutes. And you did it in a way that didn't really bug any questions. People liked it. It was crowdfunded successfully, mind you. I mean, way over what you asked for. Why poke the bear on this? Well, I don't really know. But here we go to the whole thing here. So what brings me to the article is that Michael Fassbender and David Hasselhoff have already been cast in this follow-up. But here's the thing, Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be joining them. Now, I'm a huge Schwarzenegger fan. Every movie except for Last Action Hero. I will never watch that abomination. As far as I'm concerned, that is a blot on a spotless record. I mean that. I could watch Eraser. I could watch Commando, provided I'm doing something else at the same time, because I can't stand that movie staring at it straight on. I can listen to it in the background, so I'm at least viewing it somehow. I'm either listening to it or watching it and listening, but I'm doing something else at the same time. I'm not focusing on it 100%. But majority of his movies I adore. So he's signed on. He's joined the cast of Kung Fury, the feature-length follow-up. So the Hollywood Reporter understands that the Terminator, Predator, and Total Recall icon and former governor of California, one of the best ones they had. I live in Pennsylvania, and I even know that. I've never gone to the West, and I know that. He will play the American president in David Sandberg's action comedy set to shoot in Europe and in the U.S. this summer. He joins fellow 80s hero David Hasselhoff and Oscar-nominated actor Michael Fassbender, who were announced earlier this week. So David Hasselhoff's going to be playing in an 80s style movie set in the future, recorded in 2018. Can Hasselhoff just retire now? I mean, don't you still get royalties from Baywatch? From Knight Rider? Aren't you still singing in parts of Europe that you could just go and do concerts for? Why do you have to be seen in a full-length movie? I didn't like you in Baywatch. I mean, let's face it. If the two shows that were on TV that I remember David Hasselhoff from were Baywatch and Knight Rider. And neither of those two shows I was watching for Hasselhoff. I watched Baywatch because of Pamela Anderson. When she left Baywatch, I stopped watching. And I'm being honest with that one. Her episodes were up, I didn't care anymore. And as far as Knight Rider's concerned, nobody was watching Knight Rider for Hasselhoff. They were watching Knight Rider for the car. The car was the kick-ass Knight Rider Industries 2000, or KIT. That's what they were watching Knight Rider for. They were watching it for the car. They were not watching it for, David, I'm going to oil myself up and sing Hasselhoff. I've heard you sing. You sang the song from the first Kung Fury movie. Yeah, from the first Kung Fury movie, the short, True Survivor. I can stand that mostly because it doesn't sound like you. And that's just the whole thing. It doesn't sound like you. You're better off at singing than you are at being seen. Just record albums or something. Don't go on live tours. The world will thank you for it. I'm not a fan of yours, but there might be others out there that will. And I apologize to any David Hasselhoff fans out there that I have. I'm just not that big a fan of the guy. And I don't even know who Michael Fassbender is, so I can't say anything about that. The original Kung Fury is a cheesy and comical OTT. I don't even know what the hell that means. Homage to 80s martial arts and police action films. It was a Kickstarter sensation that bowed in Cannes, bowed in Cannes. Yeah, that's a stupid thing. Director Fortnite, and has gained over 40 million views worldwide. But what's ironic is that it still couldn't beat Gangnam Style that got over 1 billion views, huh? Yeah, it's weird. Swedish filmmaker Sandberg, creator of the short, will also star as the titular hero, the greatest damn cop of all time. I can explain the origin story, but in all honesty, even I never followed the whole thing. Apparently, some cop was infused with ancient, mystical kung fu powers. He instantly became a kung fu master as part of some prophecy to become Kung Fury. Watch the original if you really want to see it. That's all I got to say. You can still pull it up on YouTube. Just look under Laser Unicorn. You can find it. It's still on there. I mean, there was a character in there called Hacker Man that hacks time. And loads of other things. And the acting by some of these people, if anyone out there's ever seen Napoleon Dynamite, it's on par with Napoleon Dynamite. At least Hacker Man's is. Kung Fury's is, it's on, I want to say it's on par with like a really cheesy, really bad cheesy movie, but mostly, yeah, it's an interesting sit through. I'll say that. So you can pull it up, on Laser Unicorns. They do have a YouTube channel, so you can watch it on there. It is 30 minutes. Please be warned, there is blood in this. It's mostly CGI related, but just a heads up to those of you out there. There's a Triceratops that becomes his partner, aka Triceracop, whose main thing in the final battle. Spoiler, by the way, for those of you that don't want to watch it, there's a huge thing. They take on Adolf Hitler. There you go. That's the whole thing. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to see it. There, I just saved you the trouble. Or better yet, just Wikipedia the thing and get the plot off of that. You don't have to worry about watching it. But one of the things with the final battle is the Triceracop apparently has a knack of shooting people in the nuts. Yeah. The whole thing just kind of screams, oh god, I just had it in my head. I just had it. Why can't... Oh! Axe Cop. That strange show that was on Fox for their more adult-oriented animation domination that they had on Saturday nights. You know, the show that was created by a 5-year-old, that I swear that 5-year-old needs some mental help. Like, massively. You create a show about a cop that finds an axe and fights crime with his pet dinosaur and his brother / crime-fighting partner. That, you know what, that show is just... Moving on! David Katzenberg, Seth Granheim-Smith, and Aaron Schmidt will produce for Cat Smith Productions, fresh off the huge success of last year's $700 million $700 million amassing It remake. Okay, that's going to be good. So you're going to have the people that did that movie doing this one. All right. Way to go. While Philip Weisgreen of B-Real Films and Connor McCalgan will also produce. I apologize for the names I'm messing up on here, but in all honesty, if I can't pronounce this and you work for Hollywood, I think you got to be bottom of the barrel. Like, we're desperate. We're desperate. Please come to us. You know, we'll produce anything. No offense. I mean, I just want to apologize. I have never heard of any of you. That's why I'm having a hard time pronouncing names here. Pelly Strandberg is executive producing on behalf of Laser Unicorns. The action is set in 1985 Miami, which is kept safe under the watchful eye of Kung Fury and his Thunder Cops, the ultimate police force assembled from across history to defeat the villainous King Fuhrer, aka Adolf Hitler. After the tragic death of a Thunder Cop sees the group disband, a mysterious villain emerges from the shadows to aid in the Fuhrer's quest to obtain the ultimate weapon. Kung Fury must travel through space and time to save his friends, defend the prestigious Miami Kung Fu Academy, and defeat an evil clone, or defeat evil once and for all. Defeat evil once and for all. Btoom is handling international sales on Kung Fury and introducing the project at the European film market in Berlin, where the Hollywood Reporter has heard buyers are already buzzing over the script. Why? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I can understand the concept of this to a point, but it seems idiotic. And we're going to get Schwarzenegger in this. I can understand Hasselhoff flushing his career down the toilet. He's used to that by now. No, I'm never going to get done with Hasselhoff jokes. I can burn him all day and never grow tired of it. I can understand Hasselhoff flushing his career down the toilet. The other guy flushing his career... What was the other guy again? Michael Fassbender, I never heard of you. So, I don't know. You could flush your career down the toilet. It might not hurt you. I don't know. Schwarzenegger, though... Don't flush your career down the toilet. Don't put another blotch on the spotless record. You are a good actor. I mean, you're like Hugh Jackman of your time. Even nowadays, I would still go to see one of your movies over a piece of crap garbage movie. Any day of the week. Please don't waste your talent on this. I mean, it's just weird that they're making this movie. And first off, what bugs me and a few dozen other people is that they're making this movie out of a 30-minute short. So it's like, we're going to take a 30-minute movie, that's a short 30-minute movie, and we're going to stretch that to at least 2 hours and 15 minutes. Keeping the same cheesiness that was in that 30-minute short and stretching that for a good hour and 45 minutes. longer than it was. Why? 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 It bothers me that they want to do that, because you wonder, is it going to be good? Is it going to suck? Is it going to be able to have the same appeal that the 30-minute movie had? I guess in this case, only time will tell. Maybe the buyers, and nothing will come of it. It'll be in like production limbo and production hell for eternity. Maybe that'll be a good thing. Maybe that'll happen. I can only hope. Like so many of you, I can only hope. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll come out. I don't know. I'm not going to waste my money to go see it. I like the short. It was a good short. I don't recommend it becoming a full-length movie. This is, like I said, they could have, if they wanted to make a follow-up to it, to explain more of the backstory, they could have done, like, you know, Kung Fury Uncut and had it be like an hour or an hour and a half. Make it be like 3 lengths of the original, and they could have squeezed everything they wanted to in that. Or just wait to make the damn sequel and make that an hour and a half and be done with it. No, we're just going to go full-on, full-length feature film. We want to get big-name actors in this. Why don't you just get Hugh Jackman while you're at it? Or is this going to be a B-list only and you're trying to drag Schwarzenegger down into the mud? I mean, Hasselhoff's already there. I mean, come on, he makes mud sandwiches whenever he takes a role. Come on. Yes, that was a low burn, but still, I could burn him all day and never get tired of it. I mean, like I said, he's used to flushing his career down the toilet. I mean, look at what he did. He was on Baywatch Nights. What does that tell you? Oh, there was another show. I never even saw it. I just thought of that one. There you go. So that's something I guess to look forward to. No information on when it's coming out. It's just going to be shooting later this year. So hopefully, I don't want to say it this way. Hopefully it won't come out. But if it does, hopefully it doesn't suck. Because I would hate for there to be another blotch on a spotless record of Schwarzenegger. But Hasselhoff, throw some more ink stains on there. Maybe we'll finally get the Rorschach test he needs to prove he's nuts. Okay, so last year I reported about the sad and untimely death of Hiromi Suru, who voiced Bulma on Dragon Ball, all the way up to Dragon Ball Super currently. And back then I said I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Nobody was sure what was going to happen. It was still up in the air as to what was going to happen. It was announced this week that she will be replaced by fellow veteran voice actress Aya Hasekawa. And this was announced on Valentine's Day, and what's really funny about this is that they didn't announce it by having her just show up one day, record an episode, and plop the episode up online. They did it as a commercial. That was how they introduced her to the world. This is your new Bulma. Now, for those of you who don't know who she is, because even I didn't know who she was, I actually had to look it up. Here's her Wikipedia page. She is a voice actress. She does have some musical career in the J-pop from 1993 to present. And she's been doing voice acting since 1988. So it's actually not too bad. And she does have a long history. And like a long history in this. One of her most prominent roles is Sailor Mercury in Sailor Moon. So if you've ever heard the Japanese Sailor Moon and you know who Sailor Mercury is, that voice is going to be coming out of Bulma's mouth. But what's ironic is that when I watched the video then Friday morning before I left for work, they had a comparison video. Like, here's the old Bulma, here's the Bulma's old voice, and here's her new one. And the comparison video, it was like, you couldn't tell a difference. And I'm thinking to myself, either she's doing a damn good impersonation of Hiromi Suru, or they found a dead-on match for her. And it's just that perfect. I mean, that's just creepy. But she does have a long, like I said, a long generation, and a long list and a long track record. She was in Transformers Victory. I'm just naming a few of them, by the way. She was in a Dragon Ball Z episode. She played Chico in episode 16 of Dragon Ball Z. So she does know about the stuff. So that is a good sign. She did Transformers Victory in 1989. Some of these I can't pronounce, so I'm not even going to try. I know it's a lot of fun when I do, but I don't want to insult anybody. She was in Devil Hunter Yoko. Trap Family Story. Dragon Quest, Dino, Daiboken. She was in The Bush Baby. She did Sailor Mercury and Sailor Moon. She was in Crayon Shin-Chan as various characters. And if you've ever seen Crayon Shin-Chan, you know why I want to do a review of that. And that's on my list. Gotta watch the majority of that and do more research on it, because it's been a long time since I've seen it. She was in Sailor Moon R. So basically, she played Sailor Mercury. Sailor Moon R, Sailor Moon S. Phantom Quest Corps. Marmalade Boy. Mobile Fighter G Gundam. She was Aikino in Mobile Fighter G Gundam. Don't know who that character is off the top of my head, and I have seen that entire series. That worries me. Let's see here. Sailor Moon Super S. So basically all of Sailor Moon, I'm assuming. So I didn't see Crystal on this yet, and I looked at this earlier. Lupin the Third, The Secret of Twilight Gemini, Eat Man, Revolutionary Girl, Utina. I probably mispronounced that. Let's see here, just to name a few newer ones, because all these are like from the 80s and the 90s. She was in Cardcaptor Sakura in 98. Getting into the 2000s. Love Hina, Beyblade, Noir, Project Arms, Fruits Basket. Not one of my favorites. Cosmo Warrior Zero, X, Beyblade V-Force. She was in a really interesting mech series called Rossifon. Definitely, if you get a chance to check that out, I would recommend that. Kitty Grade, Gion Riders, The 12 Kingdom, Azumanga Daioh. Again, very good series. She actually played the PE teacher that was loved by her students, while the other teacher, the best friend of the PE teacher, was hated by most of her students. The one that couldn't drive for beans in the manga. Yes, I have seen the manga! I have seen that! I have seen and read it. So that is actually fun. Detective School Q. She was Mira Ackerman in Godanner, which is a really good mech series. I recommend checking that out. Definitely. If you ever get a chance to and you're into mech stuff, check that one out. Big time. She was in Mega Man EXE Access, or Rockman as it's called in Japan. Monkey Turn, never heard of it. That crappy SD Gundam Force. Ragnarok, the animation. Beat the Vandal Buster. And I'm just naming some of these off here at random, so I'm not going in any particular order, because I'm going some above and below other ones here. She was in Bleach as the one captain of one of the 13 Court Guard squads. My Goddess, Air, Girls Bravo, Eureka 7. Let's see, I said Beat the Vandal Buster already. She was in Ziga Pain, Blackjack 21. Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple. Let's see here, what else we got? Overdrive, another good series. Let's see here. And it's like a sports one. I've only seen like the opening for it and a couple clips of the episode, so that's actually not too bad. Rosario and Vampire to Love Rue, Our Home's Fox Deity, Gogol 13, Sands of Destruction, Hellgirl. Let's see here. So, like I said, she's got a long list, but I'm just naming some off here at random. You can pull up the whole thing, checking her out on checking out her Wikipedia page. She did Future Diary. She was Hinata's mother in that. I've seen Future Diary. Not that bad. Oh, let's see here. I'm still trying to see yet, though, if I was right about the one thing, though. Let's see here. So I can't play H. Let's see here. What other ones we got? Robot Girl Z. She was in Space Dandy. You all know my thoughts on that. Let's see here. Gintama. Puzzles and Dragons X. Card Captor Sakura. Clear Card was her last role. Oh, no. No, I guess she's doing that this year yet. Her last role last year was, there were 3 of them she did last year. Akiba's Trip, the animation, Scum's Wish, and Bang Dream. This year, it's Card Captor Sakura, Clear Card, and Dragon Ball Super. And the list of films she's done is just no end to those, as well as video games she's, lent her voice to. Soul Calibur, she did that. Soul Calibur 2. Summon Night 3. Soul Calibur 3. Ace Combat 6. And as far as other dubbings, she's done other things. 1999, 101 Dalmatians, the series. And in 2015, ooh, that's interesting. In 2015, she did a voice thing for Star versus the Forces of Evil. It was actually a really good series. I remember that. She was a Queen Moon Butterfly. I remember watching that show. That was actually pretty cool. But yeah, there's just so many other ones on here. She did a drama CD for Full Metal Alchemist. For Dragon Quest V and Dragon Quest VI, Card Captor Sakura, Sailor Moon, of course. G-On Riders, I should say. Marmalade Boy, Ragnarok the Evolution, the animation, Shining Force EXA. Damn good game. I wish I could have finished that one. So, yeah, the list is just endless. So she has a huge track record. So this isn't like they just went out into the streets and they said, hey, grab some innocent schmuck off the streets and said, hey, come inside here, read read this script for 5-10 minutes, and, or ask them, hey, you want to make $50, and just started reading the thing. So she's been chosen to fill the late Hiromi Suru's shoes as Bulma in the Dragon Ball Super series. Suru actually voiced Bulma up into episode 128, which is actually premiering this weekend. So, if she speaks in this at all, this will be her final voice. So this one's going to get major attention throughout the internet. People are going to want to see this, because they're going to want to hear her last and final words. Even if it's just something short like Vegeta or something, it's going to be huge. But what bothers me with this, now granted, okay, so now she's doing Bulma for this. That means that they're locking her in for the movie coming out in December, which I had actually forgotten about, that there was a Dragon Ball movie coming out in December. But any future Dragon Ball projects, I'm assuming that they have her locked into. So you have, Dragon Ball, any more Dragon Ball games, if they bring Super back. Because, remember, Dragon Ball Super's ending at the end of March. At the end of March, the last Sunday in March is its last and final episode. Unless they're going to move it to a different day, it's the last and final episode. But all this, though, set aside, has brought up one interesting thing that a few people have asked. And that question is, what's going to happen to the voice of Goku if she were to pass? Because she's pretty far up there. And this is a question that was brought up by one person. They said, she's pretty far up there. What are we going to do when she goes? Because keep in mind, everybody can die just like that. It could just suddenly happen. So the question is, what's going to happen when she goes? Is there still going to be a point? Are we going to be able to do this? What's going to happen? And there really wasn't much of an answer to that, because a lot of people just don't know. I mean, this one, it's, okay, we have to find a replacement. And I will admit, because because I saw the commercial and I saw the comparison video. They did a damn good job. You cannot tell the difference. So either she's doing a spot-on Hiromi Suru impersonation, or they found a dead ringer for her. And that is just impressive as hell to me. But honestly, this is just something that I would see as interesting, entertaining, and at the same time, you just have to wonder, okay, it's cool. I just wonder what they're going to do to make it better, what they can do to hopefully improve upon it. So there is all that to do yet. But only time will tell. So we won't get to hear it yet this week because Hiromi Suru's last and final voicing will be this weekend's episode. So I guess I'll have to wait a week to find out how good, or even longer maybe, to find out how good the new Bulma's voice is going to be in the series. But if the commercial's anything to go off of, it's not going to be bad. But yeah, so there was the update to that. I did say I was going to keep up to date with that, so there you go. It's going to be an interesting way to end Super. Let's see how the new Bulma does with the few episodes she has make an impact. Alright, so last year I also talked about a manga series called Btoom. B-T-O-O-M. The manga was ending. Fans were, well, understandably upset. This week, it's been announced that it's going to be getting 2 separate endings. In a sort of pick-your-own-adventure-esque style ending, you're going to get 2 versions of the ending. And it's actually kind of interesting. It's going to split off into a light ending and a dark ending, of course. 2 versions of Volume 16 will be released to cover these 2 endings. So this is going to be an interesting thing. So, which volume is going to sell out faster? Is it going to be the light ending or the dark ending? Is one going to sell higher than the other, or is they both going to do extremely well? Only time is going to tell in this one. But it's actually kind of pretty cool. The end of Volume 25, which was released last week, asks readers what they would do if they were protagonist Ryota. The story then splits off into the light and dark endings. So the light version, also known as the Friendship Arc, is currently being serialized in magazine, monthly comic, at Bunch, while the dark version, also known as the Truth Arc, will appear in B Bunch. I guess an Alpha Bunch and B Bunch. Okay. It was first reported that Btoom will be coming to an end last September, which I knew then. I talked about it. Yen Press, which is releasing the manga in English, describes the story as follows. It's always fun to hear how they describe this crap. Not that it's crap, but I'm just saying it's interesting how they always describe this. Ryota Sakamoto, that's cool, is one of the top-ranked players of Btoom, an online battle game, but no amount of simulated warfare could have prepared him for what is to come. Ryota wakes up one evening to find himself dangling from a tree by a parachute, with no recollection of how he got there. Before he can orient himself to his unfamiliar surroundings, Ryota is attacked as a barrage of explosions rain down on him. Ryota realizes that he, too, has a pack of bombs that look very similar to the ones used in Btoom. Ryota may have mastered the online game, but can he come out on top in this real-life game of survival? Honestly, I actually looked up some of this. I looked up some of the manga. I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't appeal to me. I mean, it might appeal to somebody out there. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird series. I'm not going to go into detail on it. If you want to know this one, honestly, all I can say is look it up. it's weird. It's very, very weird. It's strange. It's unusual. It's weird. It's just weird. But having two separate endings, though, for a manga series, that's sort of interesting. And in this day and age where you have less and less physical media coming out, so like less and less actual volumes, a lot of stuff's going online, this could actually be something that might start a trend. Hey, we want to have two different endings for our manga series. Well, yeah, we're going to have like a truth ending and a fake ending. So like this is the ending where like character A, dies, but in reality, the whole thing was staged just to get the bad guy to confess. Or the truth ending where the person, defeats this person, blah, 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 insert generic plot here. Don't get me wrong, it's an interesting plot, and it's an interesting idea. I don't know of any that have ever done this before. So it's actually very intriguing to me to see how they're going to pull this off. But I think it's just kind of neat that that's what they're going to do for the ending. So they had plenty of time to figure out an ending for this. So I guess they figured, hey, the creator figured, hey, let's split up the ending into two parts and basically let them pick which ending they want. That way you get the best of both worlds, regardless if you're a fan of the series and you wanted it to end this way, but it didn't. You can actually have your ending. So you can have volume 26, slap it up on a wall somewhere and go, yeah, I got the ending that I wanted. It would almost be like a choose your own adventure, except there's no door C, and there's always a door C. But I guess in this case, door C is closed for, I'm not going to buy it because the bookstore ain't open. But anyway, if you get a chance to check that out when it comes out, might be cool. I'm just curious how they're going to do it. But it's still an interesting concept. So there's your Btoom update. It's a short thing, but there's not really much to go on. It's just interesting what they're going to do. It really is. When it comes to DC characters, I am not the biggest fan of them. Green Lantern, The Flash, and Dr. Victor Freeze. Those are the three that I can stand. And by I can stand them, that means Marvel's got to snatch them up before DC ruins them. Batman, however, is so far down on my list of characters that I can tolerate, it's not even funny. Now, if we're talking Batman Beyond, I could get behind that. But we're not. In an article from Otaku USA or Anime News Network, one of those two, it's brought to my attention that there's going to be a Batman Ninja anime film. It's going to be dated for home streaming and for streaming and home video. So it's not even going to be released in theaters. It's going to be a direct-to-DVD and a direct-to-stream. It's going to be coming out digitally on April 24th, followed by a release on Blu-ray and DVD May 8th. And my handy-dandy calendar should tell me when those two dates are. Literally 2 weeks apart from each other. So basically, you're going to get the streaming one 2 weeks before you get the actual physical media in your hand. That makes sense. So, it's a new thing. It's strange that he's going to be an anime-ish ninja. I mean, he's already sort of like a ninja. I know a bit about him. I'm not a fan of him. They got the list of cast members here. Batman is going to be dubbed by Roger Craig Smith, who did Batman Origins. The Joker is going to be Tony Hale, known for Veep and Arrested Development. Catwoman is going to be Grey Griffin, Scooby-Doo franchise. Tara Strong is going to be in this, voicing Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. She did Batman the Killing Joke. She's also known for a tremendous amount of wonderful, wonderful voiceover roles, including Ingrid Third on Fillmore, and sadly, one of the Teen Titans in Teen Titans Go. I'm not going to say which one. You can figure it out for yourselves. Gorilla Grodd and Deathstroke are going to be voiced by Fred Tata Scorn or something from Family Guy. Yuri Lowenthal is going to be voicing Robin, Ben 10 Omniverse fame, I should say. Nightwing / Alfred is going to be Adam Crosdell from, I guess, Rain sort of thing there. Red Robin, yum. I had to do that. And / Red Hood will be voiced by Will Friedle from Boy Meets World fame. To figure out who that is. I think his name sounds familiar. Penguin's going to be Tom Kenny. SpongeBob SquarePants. Oh, God. Well, you can officially kiss this one right down the shitter. And Two-Face by Eric Bauza. The Adventures of Puss in Boots. Okay, so let me talk about these. Let me go into this for a minute. So you got the voice of Batman did Batman in Arkham Origins. That was a video game. A person that did the voice or did a character on Arrested Development. Don't care. A person known for the Scooby-Doo franchise is voicing Catwoman. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see irony in that. Tara Strong, no comment. Like I said, great job voicing Ingrid Third. Not so great of a job doing the Teen Titans. Go. Not a fan of that. I've made that perfectly clear. I don't know who the guy from Family Guy is. I gave up on Ben 10 years ago, so I don't know who Yuri Lowenthal is. Never seen Rain. That name, though, from the Boy Meets World thing sounds familiar, but I can't think of who it is. But he'll be voicing Red Robin. Yum! And / Red Hood. I know, it just happened! Not sure, though, if it's a good idea to have Tom Kenny of SpongeBob SquarePants fame voicing Penguin. Why, you ask? Because SpongeBob SquarePants is a horrible cartoon, and you want this thing to sell money. You want to sell this to people. Do you really want to associate I'm ready with I'm Batman? No, you don't. You know, it's alright. Let's look this up quick. Hold on. Handy dandy Google, give me a hand. Tell me who these people are and how bad I really am. Let's see here. So as I look this up... Okay, well, I looked this up. So it's sort of an interesting thing. There's a plot synopsis for this. Give me a second here. Wow. Wow. Okay, the guy looks like a straight up nerd. Okay, please tell me please tell me that you do not actually play. He appears in the live-action segment of SpongeBob SquarePants as Patchy the Pirate. Oh, that's really gonna help your franchise. You want to have Patchy the Pirate voicing Penguin? No. That's almost as bad as having. Oh, what was it? Oh. Hold on. I talked about it earlier and it skipped my mind. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Okay. Hold on a second, because I'm mostly going off the thing here. Give me a second. Where are you, you stupid? Okay, here we go. I'm going back from my Detective Pikachu thing. This is almost as bad as having Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu. There you go. I had to think for a minute and double check it because I know I talked about it. So you're having him voice Pikachu, and you're having the guy who played Patchy the Pirate. Patchy the Pirate is going to be voicing Penguin. I tells you that I've actually seen some SpongeBob episodes and know who this jackass is. He is honestly voicing Penguin. I actually know Penguin. Penguin has a sad, twisted backstory. You are going to have him... Oh, that's just sad. And he's going to be voicing Penguin. Patchy the Pirate. Okay. That's just... That's sad. Okay. And the other guy... Oh, come on. Who did he play? Oh, okay. 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 This is the one that would have played Eric, the older brother. If I'm correct in this. Yes. He was Eric Matthews in Will Friedle. Or Friedlo. Or whatever you want to call him. Whatever he calls himself. He played Eric Matthews on Boy Meets World. Okay, there we go. Whew. That's settled. I couldn't figure that one out. So here's the plot synopsis for this Batman movie. Batman Ninja takes a journey across the ages as Gorilla Grodd's time displacement machine transports many of Batman's worst enemies to feudal Japan. Along with the Dark Knight and a few of his allies, the villains take over the forms of the feudal lords that rule the divided land. With the Joker taking the lead among the warring factions, as his traditional high-tech weaponry is exhausted almost immediately, Batman must rely on his intellect and his abilities, including Catwoman and the extended Bat family, to restore order to the land and return to present-day Gotham City. What extended Bat family do you got? What do you got, Batboy? Batgirl? Batwife? No, there's a Bat family. You got Batdog too? The whole thing here. That was the synopsis for this. And this is so wrong. He must rely on his intellect and his allies. His intellect? He actually had intellect? I always thought Batman used a supercomputer in the Batcave to solve his problems. He's the world's greatest detective. You could say, well, he built the Batmobile. No, he didn't. I still go by he did not build the Batmobile. The Batmobile was built by somebody else who he paid to keep their mouth shut. Batman did nothing. I could do an entire rant video on Batman alone and have fun ripping him a new one. He has an intellect? Seriously? And the extended Bat family? So what? Okay, well, so wait a minute. So if this is including Catwoman and the extended Bat family, so that means you got Batman and Catwoman, so that means there better be, okay, you got Robin and I'm assuming Batgirl, so I guess Alfred's getting his ass involved in this too? Alfred's part of the extended Bat family? What happened to Batboy? Batwife? Batdog? Man, I want Batfish, damn it! Just see like a little goldfish with a cape and a cowl, looking like Batman going, glub, 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 glub. I'm Batfish! Batfish! That'd be good! So if you're interested in watching this and seeing if it's going to be good or bad or what have you, check it out. It's coming out streaming-wise digitally on April 24th. And you can pick up the physical copy that if you hate, you can chuck it outside your window or chuck it into the trash or into a blender on May 8th on Blu-ray and DVD. Personally, for me, I'm going to be avoiding it because I don't like Batman. I'm not a fan of Batman. I never have been a fan of Batman, and I never will be a fan of Batman. As far as I'm concerned, that is one series that can literally go away. Batman Beyond was good, and I did watch the animated series, but I'm just not that big a fan of Batman. It's one of those, I can stand him to a point, and that point gets reached very, very quickly. Alright, if you still play Pokemon Go, and your life still has some meaning, and you haven't pissed off your family and loved ones, yet to the point where they've taken your phone, smashed it, or deleted the app, and forbade you from ever playing it again, which is sadly what my one friend's about to do to her husband soon if he doesn't get his shit together. I know she's going to do that, sir. That's going to be the next step. She's going to go, she'll invite me over and she'll sneak his phone away from him or something, and it'll be, delete the app, please. And I will have to go through and delete it. Knowing my luck, that's what it's soon going to come to. I just get that feeling. But if you're still playing this game, and you've ever had the urge to be a member of Team Rocket, good news. Pokemon Go has created a new look for your avatar. You can purchase outfits now honoring the original Team Rocket or the villainous new Team Rainbow Rocket from the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon video game series. Or you can play as the original Team Rocket from the original Pokemon video games. You remember Team Rocket? To protect the world from devastation and to unite all peoples within our nation. The opening intro to their characters that annoyed so many people. So glad they got rid of that later on. But it's actually kind of cool. So now you can have your avatar literally be a member of Team Rocket. Scare the crap out of people around you. Oh God, it's somebody from Team Rocket. It's a member of Team Rocket. Run! You know, let them come around and scare you. Or at least scare other people. You know, this is probably about the closest we're ever going to get to actually having a Pokemon game where you can play as the villain. That's still something that I think we should have. Because you had Pokemon Coliseum where you got to play as, the main character had to go around and basically capture other people's Pokemon that were infected by darkness. So you were technically capturing them to save them. And it was a set, certain ones, most of them were boss fights, 1 or 2 arena ones that you had to get. They were random if they showed up. So on and so forth. So there's that. But I've always been complaining that we need to get a Pokemon game where you can choose what you want to do. Like after you beat the game, to give you the option, like, okay, you beat the game. Do you want to continue your journey and fulfill your Pokedex? Do you want to become a gym leader? Do you want to become one of the Elite Four? Do you want to just wait on top of the mountain for a challenger to come and challenge you as the champion? You know, or have like a thing where, hey, you're being summoned to the Elite Four because of a challenge, and you go back there and take down, whoever's trying to beat you out of your championship. Or do you want to join the criminal organization and you can become a member of whatever organization's in the game, where you go around and steal Pokemon and try to rebuild their evil empire? All these things are things that I've always said we should use in a Pokemon game to extend the life ability of this and extend the playability far beyond the hours of, I gotta catch them all, gotta evolve them all, gotta breed the perfect Pokemon. I mean, Dittos can only take so much in the daycare, people. They are not sex machines. They can only take so much and can only have so many eggs before bad stuff starts to happen. So if you want to play as Team Rocket in Pokemon Go, or at least look like you're a member of the organization, you can pick up one of the new outfits for purchase in the game. Personally, though, I say don't waste your time. Because, let's face it, it's probably going to cost a crap ton of coins or a crap ton of real-life cash, and then they're just going to keep charging you every month, or you're not going to like the outfit after a while, and it's like, I shouldn't have wasted my money on that, but the microtransaction's done and they got their cash, so they don't care. I mean, come on. It's a freaking freemium game. That's how that stuff works, people. Okay, so a bit of a bummer news for those of you that were looking forward to seeing Battle Angel Alita. Unfortunately, it's been pushed back to December. Yes, that's right. Originally scheduled to come out in July, the movie is now set to come out in December. And man, it's kind of sad, but at the same time, this is actually a good thing. And I want to explain why. So, originally, it was scheduled for July release. It has been pushed back to December 21st. It's being directed by Robert Rodriguez and produced by James Cameron. Now, those of you who don't know who James Cameron is, seriously, let me know where your rock is that you've been living under for the last 10 years. I want to be there when the world comes to an end. Because obviously nothing penetrates that. James Cameron did Avatar, a few dozen other movies. It stars Rosa Salazar, Christopher Waltz, and Jennifer Connelly, who the last time I ever remember her being in a movie was in A Beautiful Mind, and she has aged fine. Very fine. I will say that. She's aged fine. She was fine in that movie, and she has not aged. It doesn't even look like she's aged a day. Wow. So we just gotta wait a little longer, though, to gaze into Alita's giant anime eyes, which has actually been a subject of a tremendous amount of discussion from a lot of people. Personally, I don't think it's creepy at all. Other people think it's creepy. I don't. So, here's why I think this is a good and a bad thing. It's bad that they are pushing this back when it was scheduled for one release date. So I kind of feel upset for people that were looking forward to this, that this was going to be like their summer. Hey, we're going to go see this over the summer. You know, we're going to make plans around this. We're going to like binge watch or binge read the thing, binge watch the OVA, binge read the manga, you know, and do that, and then go see the movie, only to find out, well, now it's coming out in December. We're not going to have a chance because of classes and the holidays. It's coming out literally 4 days before Christmas. Which, handy dandy calendar, or do your stuff again. Okay, that is the third Friday of December. It is literally coming out. Yes, the third Friday of December. Wow, that's really going to be cutting it close this year to the holiday season. This is definitely going for that holiday gold. But while it's a bad thing that it's been pushed to December, and yes, it's a sad and it's a bad thing, I understand that feeling. I felt the same way once when I pre-ordered a video game and then found out, hey, it's not coming out the day it was scheduled to. I had no clue it wasn't coming out the day it was scheduled to, until I looked it up and it's like, yeah, it's not coming out. And then it came out like a month later and I was like, oh, well, I'm still happy I got the game. I wasn't happy I had to wait an extra month, but I'm still happy I got the game. But why this one, in my opinion, is a good thing that they're delaying its release. That they're pushing it back until December. This will give them a chance to fine-tune anything that, and I'm going to say it, because this is exactly what I'm hoping that they're doing with this move. Because there is a tremendous amount of problems when it comes to making a live-action adaptation of anything that's manga or anime related. Especially something that's like an OVA, a series, or just a regular manga. I constantly, related Dragon Ball Evolution to this. Attack on Titan's movie. Those things, in my opinion, were jokes. G-Savior, which was a Gundam piece of crap, that was god-awful. What I'm hoping that they're doing with this, by pushing it back to December, is they're going to fine-tune and fix any of the fuck-ups that they have. I'm thinking that they test screened some of this movie, and the test screenings came back and they're like, well, it's a good movie, but here's a list of problems that we have. You're not being faithful to this. Because, you're not being faithful to this. You're not being, truthful to this. This was different than this. The plot's difficult to follow. We can't get into the characters. The background music sucks. There's issues with this and that. Because, and let's face it, this movie's got a lot of potential to hold up to. I've seen the trailer for it. The trailer has me completely in awe. I love the trailer for this. If you get a chance to check it out, check it out. It's worth every second. I guarantee it. But I can see their point in the whole, we have to make this good. Because, keep in mind, live-action adaptations to this point have a very mixed bag of good and bad. And 90 to 93% of it is horrible. And again, I will cite Dragon Ball Evolution, Attack on Titan. And the reason why I keep throwing Attack on Titan under the bus with this is because they had an entire movie with subtitles, and the subtitles froze in the movie. It's like they couldn't have just paid the extra $75 a person, had people that could speak English, and do it in English. They had to do it in Japanese and sub the thing and then have the subs crap out. That was a sign that it should not have been made. But Dragon Ball Evolution, they didn't even pick up a copy of the manga to see what they were doing. So, with this, you obviously can tell that they have the source material, because in one of the interviews, the director came right out and said, hey, the reason with the eyes is we're taking it right off so she looks just like she does in the manga series. So you know right off the bat, oh my god, they're actually reading the manga series for this. So we at least know that they're seeing the manga. They're at least reading the manga. They see the pictures in the manga. That's what they're trying to base this on. So either they realized, they took a look at their movies like, nope, we gotta fix this. This doesn't work. Fans are gonna get pissed and we gotta fix it. Or, okay, we want to make it really good. We need a little more time. Either way, I'm fine with it. If they want to fine-tune it or they got to fix it, I'm fine with that. Because this movie's got a lot of potential. It really does. So here's the synopsis or the description of the original. This is how Kodansa describes the original. In a dump in the lawless settlement of Scrapyard, far beneath the mysterious space city of Zalem, disgraced cyber doctor Daisuke Ito makes a strange find: the detached head of a cyborg woman who has lost all her memories. Her name, he names her, Alita. He names her Alita. It's a difficult name to pronounce, and that's why I was listening to the trailer half a dozen times so I know how to pronounce it. And equips her with a powerful new body, the Berserker. While Alita remembers no details of her former life, a moment of desperation reawakens in her nerves the legendary school of martial arts known as Panzerkunst. Or Kunst, Kunst, in a place where there is no justice but what people make for themselves. Alita decides to become a hunter-killer, tracking down and taking out those who prey on the weak, but can she hold on to her humanity as she begins to revel in her own bloodlust? So that's the thing for this. Now, I've seen the trailer for it. It's a decent trailer. Like I said, I give it a 5 out of 5 on the trailer alone. And that's really sad to say nowadays with movies that, hey, here's a 5 out of 5 on the trailer. If the movie sucks, at least you got the trailer to watch. It's got really touchy music in the trailer and everything. But, like I said, this has a lot of potential. So them pushing it back to December is fine with me. I don't think any fan out there is going to argue this. They're going to take one look at this and go, oh, they're pushing it back? That's fine. I'll probably give them plenty of time to make this thing really good. Push it back to December. We're fine. Push it 5 months. We're fine with that. Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I would be fine with it. I don't see any anime fan that would not be fine with that. I'd be fine with it. I guarantee you so many people would not mind it. But it is sad that you have to wait an extra 5 months now to see her big anime eyes. So it is kind of an interesting concept. But still, I find it interesting. I find it really cool that they're doing this. And like I said, the trailer was interesting. I did like it. It seemed really, really good. And that's what I kind of think a movie trailer should be like. it sets you up by giving you the description. It gives you the scenes of the environments. You know where you are. You know what the plot is of this movie, or at least you can figure out, for like your idea of what the plot is going to be, and then find out, okay, it's different than what I thought. It could be better or worse. So the trailer's doing that justice. And then pushing the movie back an extra 5 months, like, hey, we want to get some time, we're going to fine-tune this, that's fine. Don't half-ass this, because, live-action adaptations are getting really tiresome to hear about. I get sick, I get queasy every time they announce a new one. It's like, oh, we're going to make a live-action adaptation for this. Oh, boy. Oh, we're making a live-action one for this. Why? Those are the things that sort of get me queasy in the stomach, because it's like you're taking something that already is good and you're going to try to ruin it. In this case, I have not seen anything of Battle Angel Alita. Alita. I have not seen anything of her. I have not read the manga. I have not seen any of the mangas, and I have not seen any of the pictures in the manga. And I know I've said that half a dozen times tonight. I've seen the manga. Technically, I can page through that and look at the pictures and get a feel for something. So that could be seen too. People do have to see the manga in order to read it. Yes, I know it's a stupid thing, but I'm just getting that out there. Yes, I know I've said it half a dozen times tonight. No, I don't mean it stupidly. It was mostly just a slip of the tongue and lack of blood going to the brain. But it is from what I've seen, it's a good trailer. I'm hoping it's going to be a good movie. And only time's going to tell with this. It really is. But the trailer looked good. I'm hoping this extra 5 months that they're giving themselves is going to be well worth it. Because, if it's coming out in December, you're going to have to deal with all the movies that are coming out then in December. So if there are any of them that are going to be coming out on Christmas Day, you're going to have to deal with those. If there are any that are coming out the Friday before Christmas along with you, you're going to have to deal with those. But then again, in the summertime, you have to deal with the Avengers movie that's coming out in May. You have to deal with the Incredibles movie that's coming out. Those could have also been underlying factors, like, okay, we're not going to put this out now. We're going to have to compete with way too much crap when it's on its debut weekend. We will get our asses handed to us. Put it around Christmas. And you put it at a time where the kids are getting off of school, colleges are letting out, so people are going to have the time to go see this. So you actually did some research on this. You figured out, hey, this would be a good time to go see it. They'll be able to go check it out. It's going to be worth the time and effort. So it's not exactly, we didn't really put much thought into it. Kiss off, screw you. It's, no, we thought about it. You can tell that. But, like I said, only time's going to tell whether or not the 5 months that they bought themselves is going to be, was worth it or not. Hopefully it's going to be. I don't know. Alright, folks, that's going to do it this week for the absolutely, completely random podcast. I'd like to thank everybody out there that subscribes to my channel and watches my videos each and every week on the podcast here. Thank you so much. I enjoy reading the comments. I enjoy seeing the view counter go up, because then I know you care, and it just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So, as always, if you have any topic ideas for the podcast, feel free to drop them one of 4 places. You can either email them to me at acrpodcast@gmail.com. You can leave them in the discussion page here on my YouTube channel. You can tweet them to me at Otaku Roads. Or you can now post them to my Facebook page, WebDesigner18 on Facebook. Yes, that's right. 4 different places. If you have any ideas or something that you want to hear me talk about here on the podcast, to let me know. Please let me know, though, by Thursdays, because I try to get all of the topics done by Thursday. That way, just in the off chance I end up having to go to work Sunday morning or I have to work Saturday morning, I can quick have everything ready to go podcast-wise. So I'm not rushing around at the last minute. So, until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes. This has been the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. I am going to be going to bed. I'm kind of tired. So good night, everybody, and see you next week here on the podcast. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. Okay, well, whatever time you watch me with the same channel here. Web Designer 18. Bye, everybody!